And they say that the U.S. Constitution was based off the Sharia law because Muhammad was talking about how like white, black, brown people are all equal. Yeah, all equal if you believe in Islam. If you believe in Muhammad as the final prophet, yeah, then you're equal. But if you don't believe in Islam, you have no rights. No rights whatsoever. You're a kafir. You're, however the hell you say it, a kafir, an infidel. You can do whatever the hell you want to them. You have no rights. It's just a lie in wait. The trees will point out the Jews so you can go kill them. Islam will never reform people because they believe the Quran was written in eternity, apart from time, before time and space existed. So you can't really change the final saying of God, right? You don't really reform that. Christianity, on the other hand, reformed. They believe that the Bible was written in time and space by people who were inspired by God, but yet still fallible men. People always like to point to the Old Testament, how bad Christianity is. I'd like you to show me another culture or any other group of people that were super peaceful or just perfect back then. Point them out to me, and then we can worship them, because you're not going to find it, okay? People were spiritually evolving back then, as we are still spiritually evolving in the present day, although it seems quite a few people are regressing, yet they call themselves progressives. We're all starting to... Jesus came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Yes, many of the things written in the Old Testament are wrong and undefensible. But times have changed. There was no perfect society. We're all souls that fell from heaven. The story of Adam and Eve is a symbology of how we, as souls, fell from heaven. Because we all had free will. If we're in heaven and we can't do anything, and we can't oppose God or the will of God, then we're autonomous robots. Nothing more. And being virtuous means nothing, because we'd all be robots. We wouldn't have a choice. God doesn't want you to be a slave to Him. He wants you to be His friend. He wants you to choose Him and not be forced to live by His rules and to be selfless. I hope that people wake up soon, because we're reaching a point in Europe where there is no point of no return. I mean, you can't deport millions of Muslims. It's not going to happen. I mean, I wish it could. I mean, I don't know, but this is war, and people don't recognize it. That people who gang rape women in Europe get like 6 months in jail, a year in jail. A guy who had a sexual emergency at a German public pool raped a kid, and he used a sexual emergency as a defense, and I think he got like 6 months. I think he got probation or something. Some slap on the wrist. Imagine that. Imagine that happening 5, 10 years ago. It was incomprehensible. Now this is the norm. People are just accepting it. They're so programmed in their brain to think that any criticism of a non-white is racist. The thought control is insane. I mean, just to prove that you have been programmed, and I've somewhat tried to been programmed too. Just imagine a racist for me, and tell me what race you're thinking of. You're obviously going to be thinking white man, because that's all the media portrays. White cop against black kid. White guy against black guy. They'll never show black cop against white kid, unarmed white kid, or black men against, torturing white people. Like, it's not part of their, not part of their narrative. So they're pushing hatred of white people. I mean, it's insane. I saw this article the other day where schools in California are getting funds cut because they have more than 30% white students. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. It's like, is this real life? We're coming to the point to where it's like, wake me up from this dream. Like, what age am I living in? Oh, man. Gosh, man. And, I mean, I love all people, but why can't whites remain the majority in the USA and Europe? I mean, other races, we're not like going down in Africa being like, yeah, more than 30% black people in this school are defending you. Like, it's insane. I wish I was joking. I mean, I wish there's a plan that we could hatch to really, affect change. All we can do is get the word out, but I'm tired of being an armchair warrior. I'm really good at that. It's really time to do something else, man. I mean, all like we can really do is, practice what Jesus preaches, love and kindness, but there comes a point where you have to defend your land, like in the Battle of Tours. If they would have just been like the Europeans of today, like, oh, just let him in, you can rape our women, just imagine. You have to stand up for your land. You can't. Just imagine. That's why the people of Spain and Portugal are darker, because of all the raping and pillaging that went on there. Nobody was really immune from it. Maybe a few people. Gosh, man, I wish I could go back to the Battle of Tours and just see that battle. And how they were completely overmatched, but they overcame the massive Muslim cavalry. Those people were warriors. Or the people that defended against the Ottoman Turks. I mean, these people, guys, I don't think, a lot of people don't know this. They would take, in Serbia, I think as recently as the 1860s, in areas around there, they would, that were under Ottoman Turk rule, they would take your kids from you because they weren't being raised Islamic. And then they would get the cutest, and they would get the cutest boys and girls, and they live in the palaces, and they get raped daily, pretty much on a daily basis, probably an hourly basis. Who knows, gang rapes? I mean, who knows the atrocities? Only God knows what's happened to some of these kids, man. I mean, just imagine everybody in your town getting your kid taken from you because they're not being raised in Islamic doctrine. You see, to them, to not be raised, to live a life outside of Islam is worse than being fuel for the hellfire. So they actually think that living like a normal life, say I'm a Christian, I follow Jesus, that's worse than being fuel for a hellfire of eternity. So they want to send you down there. Yeah, to them, that's actually giving you mercy. Imagine, no, I don't need your mercy. Please, let me live my life. Yeah, I'll be fuel for the hellfire later. Okay, just let me live my life now. It's insane, people. And then they would kidnap your kid, and then they would raise them to go fight your parents or your homeland, go kill them. They would create these warriors. It's really mind-boggling. I think it's unprecedented in all. I mean, Christianity, yeah, they've done bad things. People have done bad things, but not on a whole institutional basis. Maybe there's some Catholic priests who are terrible people. But, you can't compare the two. They weren't following Jesus's they weren't following Jesus. You know, people may call themselves Christian, but if they're not loving others and treating others as they would like to be treated, they're not Christian. And you can't bash Christianity because there's a few bad apples. These people, Islam on the other hand, they're following the Prophet Muhammad. This guy is probably the worst human being to ever live. He was deceived by a demon, and he even said he thought it was an evil force that met him in the cave, in which he revealed his prophecy. Who knows? The angel slammed him up against the wall. I mean, what angelic being, peaceful being, is going to slam you up against the wall and say, listen here. Satan knew he had to hatch a plan after Christianity was gaining strength in Europe and everything. You know what I mean? There was infighting, stupid arguments about, is Christ God or is he, you know, man? It would kill each other over that. It was stupid stuff, man. Power hungry people back in the day. But yeah, he hatched a plan. He's probably one of Satan's minions, or Satan himself, that deceived Muhammad into this. It's crazy, yeah. At the exact same time that Christianity was spreading rapidly in Europe, through peaceful means, mostly, mind you. Here in Medina, current day Saudi Arabia, here's Muhammad and his little plan, saying, oh, if you don't bow to me, you're a hater, or you deserve to die, get beheaded. Like it's just totally opposite of what Jesus wanted. Jesus didn't say kill in the name of me, kill people that don't believe in me. I mean, people are going to get so blindsided once they see what's going to happen in Europe soon. I just hope you take this with you. I know you might not believe in God or anything, but you want to be on the side of Christianity. You're never going to get rid of all religions. I know people are like, oh, all religions suck. Well, it's never going to happen. You're never going to get rid of all religions. People say that, oh, if aliens existed, people wouldn't believe in God. The Bible doesn't say that there is or isn't any other beings on other planets. It doesn't matter to your spiritual journey, to your spiritual evolution. I obviously think there is. You know, the universe is massive. But, oh man. People are in for a big surprise. And we already have like 5,000 ISIS members, supposedly, according to the FBI, in America. Surprise! I mean, who would have thought? ISIS said they were going to use the refugee crisis to infiltrate us. I mean, why wouldn't we take them for their word? Supposedly, and I wouldn't bet against it, is that they're planning an attack worse than 9/11. And what I think it's going to be is, you know, a mass simulated attack where they're going to go after schools, you know, little nurseries, little kids, try to really demoralize us. I mean, just imagine. I mean, the hatred is so pure that they would kill little kids. They behead little kids in ISIS-controlled territory. They're just following the prophet, man. And I really hope people wake up. Really, really hope people wake up, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sorry it was a little long, but we had a lot to discuss. And just hope you guys can take something from it, you know, and apply it to your life, or spread it, you know, spread the video, you know. I know a lot of people are already talking about this stuff. I just, you know, like to add my own little personal touch. You know, we all have our different ways of, you know, describing things. We've all read different material, been exposed to certain things, certain people, so we all have our own little unique outlook. I was just trying to provide mine.